everyone, welcome to the BISP Solutions. My name is Anjali and today we will continue the workforce planning which we were doing in the enterprise planning and budgeting cloud services. So let's get started. So till now, let's have a quick recap of whatever we have covered till now. So in the workforce module, we have prepared the application. Just wait for a second. Yeah. So first we have created the application, then we have enabled the features, then we have configured things like in the configuration we have loaded metadata, we set various assumptions and defaults, and then user variables and user preferences so that we can give the proper intersection where we want to see the calculation, what kind of members we need to take, and then we need to decide the merit rates. So in the previous session we have covered how the merit rates will be decided. So it will be based upon the performance of the employee. So there in the application we set the performance metrics, and on the basis of these merit rates, the increment will be available. So after that we load historical data. So today we need to see that. Let me check. Actually I was trying to load my backup. So yeah, it is completed. Now let's see. Actually my backup got removed from here, so I was loading that so that we can start working where we left yesterday. So basically we were on the workforce compensation planning. Here we have seen the first data form is for the overview, then the manage employees, then we have employee details, then transfers, assumptions, defaults, validate, and mass update. So we were setting the defaults, and the first step for default is we need to load the salary default. So here you can see I have loaded the account for the accountant job. The union code is UC001 and the grade is 1. So how we can do this? Let's do this once again. Just right click and click on add salary default, and also you can copy data across entities. So I am going to click here. From here I will select the grade, that is grade 1. Union code will be UC001 and job. So under total jobs I can choose any job. The accountant is already done, so I'm going to choose the accounting director and click on OK. So in this way we have added 2 job salary grades according to the different designations, and the scenario is plan, working version, entity is marketing US, and the currency is USD. Now let's move to the second tab, that is additional earnings. So here you can see that accountant post which is having the UC001 assumptions. Here I am taking accommodation allowance in the option 1. Now let's do the same thing for other earning defaults, and let's check what are the earning defaults currently we have. Actually if you want to load some more earnings apart from this accommodation, responsibility, and transport, so you guys can do that from the configuration window, but right now I'm already having these allowances, so let's go with this. Because accommodation is already added, so I'm taking here the responsibility allowance, and the union code will be again the same, the UC001, and job will be accountant, not accounting director, I am taking this for accountant, and option is option 1. So these things we are performing here in the option 1. Similarly, right click and add earning default, and this will be for the transport allowance, UC001, and the job will be the accountant, and the option will be option 1. So in this way you can see that I have added 3 additional earnings in the assumption. So this is already saved. Now let's move on to the benefits. We need to specify everything, whether this is salary, this is earning, additional earnings, this is benefits or taxes, anything. So here you can see already done for the medical contribution. Let's see how you can add. Just right click and click on add benefit. So medical contribution is already done. Let's set for staff provident fund, that is PF. So these are the benefits we are going to provide to the employees. Do this for same accounting post and the option 1. So this is done for the staff provident fund. Now the third thing is maternity leave for the union code UC001, and for the job accountant, and then option 1. So this is all set for all the assumptions. Then in the taxes, we need to create the tax default. So Medicare tax is already taken there, so I am going to take state income tax. Let's take only 1 or 2 taxes, not too much, because we are going to validate the data. So the data validation can be performed for only 1 tax also, so no need to choose everything for now. And from here we can choose the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Let's do it for tier 1 and click on OK. So I think every default is already being set. Now let's move towards the assumptions, what we need to set there. After setting the defaults here, we need to choose the assumptions. So I guess this part we have already performed in the previous sessions, but let's have a look quickly, because nothing should be left. Everything should be done correctly, otherwise we can't see the calculations. So here you can see we have already set the workforce assumptions according to the hours per day, hours per week, working days per month, partial payment factor, merit month, cutoff date, and everything. Then we have the salary rates. So according to the requirement sheet, we have already set the annual and monthly. This is already done. Then go to the merit rates. So here you can see that the merit rates are already being fixed. So as per the requirement, like if the employee will meet expectations, he'll be getting 5%. Otherwise it will be getting far exceed expectation, that is 10% of performance based, what I can say, this should be the increment. Then need improvement, and the fails to meet expectation will be only at 3%. So this will be calculating accordingly. And here, because I have defined the merit rates will be available from December, so you can change it, but before that we need to specify the exact entity, because otherwise we cannot see the changes we made here. So it is marketing US. Now suppose this will not available in December, we want to give this in March. Okay, so in March we will be getting all the calculations of the merit month. Then from here also I'll select March, 1st of March itself, and click on save, click on save. Now the next thing is we will move towards the manage employees. So because we have already set the default and assumptions, now we will see how we can add the hiring requisition. So right now you can see that accountant has already selected here, and because I have already shown you what is the FTE. FTE means a full-time employee assumption. Let's have a quick recap of that. Okay, so if I will select here 1 FTE, that means there is one full-time employee, okay, and will be working for 8 hours. So 1 FTE is equal to 8 hours per day. This will be the assumptions. So accordingly we are selecting things here. Now suppose I want to delete it, or I want to reselect it. Okay, let's not delete it. I'll show you how you can add. Just click on hiring requisition. So whenever you click there, number of requisition will be asked. So number of requisition, suppose I'm going to add 1 employee. FTE means again 1 FTE which we need to take here for each. It is asking for each. So full-time employee, 1 we are selecting, so 1 requisition according to 1 FTE will be there. Then employee type will be regular. From here you can choose it will be contractor also and can be temporary also. So I'm going to select here the regular only and click on next, and from here I'll select the joining date. Suppose that previous employee has been joined the company in January month. Now I'm going to choose April, 1st of April, and click on next, and from here I'll select the job. So in the previous hiring requisition you can see that we have selected the accountant. Now from here I'm going to choose the different job, that is accounting director. UC001 will be the union code, and from here we need to specify the defaults. Now here you can understand why we are first discussing about the default, why we have set default and assumptions first, because whatever the assumptions and default we gave to the application, accordingly the salary calculation will be done. So here we will be selecting the salary defaults, and then click on the next. If you want, you can write any comments here according to the employee you are hiring, and then click on the launch. So you can clearly see that we have 2 jobs, one for the hiring, one hiring requisition is for the accountant and another one is for the accounting director, and the dates are different. Okay, then click on employee details. Sorry, so it is new hire. If you this is new hire, now we need to see the calculation. So calculation will, you can see when you make it as an existing employee. So just click here, and here you can see the employee master data. Okay, so new hires is this, and then just right click here, whoever you want to make the existing employee. Just give me a second, I need to click here. Okay, so if I need to change the requisition, I can change it from here. The requisition can be changed as per the salary, extend calendar and reduced calendar. Okay, so before that I'm going to show you, because I have added the accountant and accounting director. So let's see for accounting first. The employee is, right now it is coming under the hiring requisition 1, but we need to change the requisition from the hiring requisition 1 to any of these employees. We want to make it as existing employee so that we can see the calculation. Okay, so right now, because this is only the hiring requisition 1, so you can only see the start month and the start date. Start month was January, start date was 1st of January 24, and then the total FTE, that is 1111, and head count is again 1 because we have only selected one employee to join. And from here you can see we have selected the employee type, so it can be regular or it can be contractual or temporary, anything it could be. Then the next thing is we need to select the skill set. So skill set could be if you have already provided a skill set, like you can take here the communication skills, the managerial skills, then you can take here any other skills as well, not only communication and managerial. Apart from that, so many things you can take in your metadata file, but for now you can escape this if you don't have in your metadata, so you can just skip this, and the performance will be available as per the merit rates were decided. So here you can see the applicable union codes, the status is active, this employee is active, and rest everything I'll show you when I run the rules. So rules will be run for to see the calculations over here. Partial payment factor is already 100. Okay, now again go to the manage employee, change requisition. I guess again we need to do that. Status, next, so from here I can change the requisition, so I can input the effective date. Job I can change, or it could be same also, and from here I can even change any of the requisition which I want to take here. Okay, in this way we perform, we change the requisition. So suppose the effective date is 1st of January itself. It's not being selected, so let's select it. So the employee has joined on 1st of January, and the same date I'm going to change the requisition so that I can see the calculation accordingly. And the hiring requisition is active, launch. When everything is selected, you can click on launch. Basically what we are doing here, we are making the employee as an we are taking that new hire in the existing employee, so that the employee will be available here only. Now let's click on those 3 rows which are basically required for the salary calculation. So first rule is synchronize component definition. So why we run this rule? This rule is important because whatever we define there in the component portion, like according to the salary grades, we have given the various defaults and assumptions. Suppose in the grade 1 my salary would be different, in the grade 2 salary will be different. So what happened, basically the employee designation matters. Okay, accordingly we provide the salary to the employees. So what happened, I'm going to synchronize the component definitions of whatever things are specified here will automatically synchronize here in just one form, so that I can see the calculations accordingly. So just synchronize component definition. This is the first rule. Then again just right click here, and the second rule is, wait for a second. Second rule is synchronize defaults. So whatever default we have decided to the employee regarding their salary, their taxes, their earnings, additional earnings and perquisites, it could be anything, or benefits also. So these things will be covered here. So it will be synchronized in one place. Okay, right now these defaults are maybe different places, but we want to see the exact calculation. So right now I'm not getting the total compensation, but again just right click here And the third rule is calculate compensation. So 3 rules are already done. From here we'll select the job, and it is in hiring requisition 1, so just click there. So everything will be available here, like the recommended merit rate and anything else you can see here. And if we make it the star crop like the existing employee, so the calculation will be available here. Now go to the existing employee and right click, change existing details, status, next. Okay, so this rule will only applicable to the existing employee. And clearly you can see the expenses trend, the total compensation and everything. And here the accounting director, here you can see the total compensation, whatever we have selected, like in which grade we want to take him. So total salary is this, and this is new and this is active. Okay. Now let me check if other default and assumptions will be left, and one more time I am going to refresh the database and go to the configure and let's see if the configuration part is complete or not first. So workforce assumptions, salary grades and everything we have already selected here. I am just checking that is it correct or not. And here all those employee properties are exist, which is basically which should be there related to the comments, full-time, part-time, start month, start date, cut-off date, action, hiring status, headcount assumption, pay type, skill set. So accordingly we see the calculation, like if there is a skill set, so we can select the skill. If there are performance, we can select that, applicable union code, status, recommended merit percentage and override merit percent. And from here we can change the planning and forecast preparation. If we want the planning accordingly, we can change. We are starting the planning from November itself, the current fiscal year, so it is correct, no need to change it. And now just click on action and click on database refresh. Now let's move on to the user variables. Go to tools, go to variables. Application is running too slow, otherwise we can do it quickly. I think somebody has maybe deleted the application, that is why we are unable to see the changes quickly. I'm checking it once again. Yes, so it is there only. So from here you can change the employee type, like where you want to see. So clearly you can see this is for the accountant. Okay. I think I should delete one of them because both are coming under hiring requisition 1. So I'm trying to delete it. I think my application got tampered because I'm unable to find few things. I'm trying to load the backup somewhere else. Let me do that. Let me remove this. There is one more option to change the requisition from hiring to the existing one. Once the current employee will change to the existing one, so we can see the salary calculations. Right now there are no valid rows of data for this form because there is no existing employee. We just want to change the new hiring requisition to the existing one. I'm trying to load my backup here. And if I'm having the screenshot, so that I'm going to show you, so that you can understand what basically we are doing here. Till then the backup is getting loaded. We learn from the images so that it will be easily understandable. So suppose an employee is newly joined in the organization, so we can change the status from here, that whether the employee is still new or active, start working, and approved, so that we can transfer the salary, unapproved, on hold, closed. So status will be changed from this requisition, but I need to make it first as an existing employee so that I can see the calculation accordingly. So the backup is loaded here. Now let's import it quickly. Till then the backup is getting loaded. Let's learn from the configuration. Let's learn from the images itself. Like till then the employee is new to the company, it will be available as this. Suppose one job is administrative assistant, so his status is hiring requisition 1 now, and sales associated. So as in the sales associate we have hired 3 employees in this way, and the sales operating analyst is hiring requisition 1, so everyone is coming here. Now you can clearly see, once the calculation took place, you can clearly see the total salary, the total earnings, the total benefits and taxes. So accordingly we see the total compensation. Hiring status is new, right now it is not active. And then in the second window, like in the employee details page, according to the grade wise you can see the data for every month. Like suppose an employee is having the basic salary of 7,500, it's shift differential, like according to the shifts we have given the allowance, so it is 1,200, and medical benefit is 120. So all these things are, you can clearly see here, and the year total will be available here. Here we have taken the entertainment tax fringe benefit rate, so every calculation will be available here. Then once the calculation is coming here, we can change the we can change the status from existing employee to transfer. Suppose I need to transfer the employee from one entity to the another employee, so I can change it. Even I can change like before transfer, the status we can see is from here, that is January to June. So everything will be visible here according to the entity. We can see things, and when you can see from July to December, so things are visible differently in different entity. So this calculation took place from July itself. Okay, and after that, when you want to retire that employee, so that also you can do here. The status will come up as a retirement in November, because we want to retire him from November. So everything you can clearly see, like here you can see if I change the employee status from current to the existing one, or sorry, from current to the retired or transfer one. So the status will available from July itself, not from January, because we have changed the month also. So this is the beauty of the application, how the things appear here. Let me check if the backup has been loaded here. It is still in progress. Till then, I am looking forward to change the things from here. Okay, somebody has tampered, I guess. Whenever the things are already done, like the new hire trend, the headcount comparison, everything is done. So you will be view the data in this way, like the total compensation plans, the total compensation details, like how much employee I want to recruit in which department wise calculation I can see. I can even compare the difference between the actual and the plan scenario. I can see the variance. So things are available in this way. So definitely the application got tampered, otherwise we can change this. So let me check if it is available on the different instance, so I will show you, and then otherwise I will show you in the next session. Till then, I am trying to make you understand this thing from the pictures. So why we have selected different grades, according to the grades we have defined the salary basis and the salary rates, okay, and then according to the merit rates we can see, like suppose my salary is 1 lakh and from next month I'm getting the merit rate, okay, I decided that from the December. So this increment will be available from December itself. So this is the reason why we select the merit month also. And here the employee life cycle is written. Suppose first step is raise employee hiring request, that is new employee. Second one is we approve, review, reject hiring request. Okay, so once we approve, then we need to convert new to the existing employee. That means we associate employee, right? So we add new employee details in the HR or HCM system, then extract from HR system and load to EPM. Exactly this these steps we're gonna follow here. HR system could be anything, HCM or some new, if talking about some new modules, so they have Workday and some more HR systems are there. So we extract data from HR system to load the EPM. Then the hiring requisition will be available as an existing employee. So when it comes to the existing, when we associate that employee to the existing one, then we can clearly see the calculation. After that we see the employee transfer, like transfer out, transfer in, and then the employee retirement. So this will be the employee life cycle. Okay, now let me again check. Okay, so the backup is completed here. I think I need to again log in here. Quickly I'll perform all the things, because the defaults and the assumptions should be there, otherwise we cannot see the calculation, right? So the accountant grade 1 is already selected, and additional earnings also, I guess it is done for one, for just one benefit, one contribution, one allowance, that is additional earnings and benefits, one tax is there. So let's do it for one now, and then I'll show you, because we have already checked how we can add the additional earnings and benefits here. And I guess the salary grades are already defined here. Yeah, so that is also correct. Merit month I would like to change. Let's take it February. But the employee will be joined in January, no? So merit month could be in between, like from June itself. And the merit date also. cutoff date. Cutoff date means that date from where we want to give the merit increment to the employee. June 1st. And save this. Then again, because accountant is already added, hiring requisition 1. We now again change to the requisition as per our employee life cycle. First we raise the hiring request, that is new employee, then approve, review, reject hiring request, then after that we can convert. Okay, so status, next. So it is OOWP hiring requisition 1. Effective date will be 1st of January for the accountant position, and I am going to approve this and click on launch. Once we approve this, sometimes we review and sometimes this will be under review, and sometimes we can even direct reject. So this will be the way how we can go ahead in the employee life cycle. Then after the approval, we can convert the new employee to the existing one by associating that employee. So the change requisition was successful. Now we can associate that employee. Yeah, this was I'm basically looking for this. So associate this employee to the existing one. So I'm going to give it a name, that is E001. Okay, this will be the employee member name, and the name was a star crop. So it is launched. Now you can clearly see this to the existing employee as well. See, so the star crop is the existing employee now. The status is active, employee type is regular, FTE assumption is 1, and merit month here is not described. Start date is 1st of January, and union code is this. Now again go to the manage employees, and we run those 3 rules so that we can see the calculation. Just right click here and run this rule. Those 3 rules are always required to run, otherwise we cannot get the calculation. So the synchronized definition was successful. Now second one is synchronized defaults. If there are any errors, we cannot see the changes because the rule should run successfully, otherwise we cannot see the changes. And then just lastly click on the calculate compensation. So the calculate existing employee compensation was successful. Now we can see the details of this employee. Just click on accountant, and star crop is the name, and click on this arrow. So from here you can see the calculation. Okay, one more thing, we need to check that is the salary grades are successfully mentioned or not, because otherwise we can see the calculations. Here directly. Like here you can see the calculation for this accounting director. Similarly here also we can see that. So this thing I am going to check here in the defaults. No, I think in the assumptions we need to check the grades. Okay, so it is done. Already we have selected this. Once the calculation appear, we can go ahead and we can do the data validation with our requirement sheet. So this is the requirement sheet, and from here we'll compare things like, are we getting result correctly or not according to our payroll budget. Everything should be matched, like the basic salary and the allowances and the perquisites, everything. So we'll be testing these from here. I'm again going to run this. Once you associate the employee to the existing one, so the details are already gone from here. No more details we can see here. So calculate new hire compensation was successful. Hiring status is approved. But right now we cannot see the total head count. I mean the total salary. For that I need to check it once again. Why we are not unable to see the salary, like here in the previous instance. If it gets tempered, then there are issues to see the things. One more way to test it, go to the tools and variables and see that the user variable or user preference is correctly selected or not. So from here we can even change the designation also. If we don't want to do it for accountant job, we can change it from here. So all the available jobs are available here, like the accounting director, accounting manager, analyst, CNC operator, designer, developer, anything. Or one more thing you can do, like you can directly go to the configuration. When you move here, like in the workforce module, then from here just go to the planning and forecast preparation. So from here also you can change the period. So if I make it January, so I guess then I can see the calculations. And let's quickly refresh the database also. Okay, so now I'm again checking in the workforce compensation details. Okay, so as I have already run the rule, but I can't see the changes here. So for this I need to check it once again, what's the issue. Then in the next session I'll let you know. Till then you can carry on practicing whatever we have covered, like how you can set the defaults and assumptions, like the configuration part you can cover by yourself, or you can try to add the hiring requisition, and then once it is done, try to load data, and then in the next session I'll show you how you can validate the data. Okay, so till then I'm just ending this stream. Thank you so much.